Guys, I grew up in a different era of schools than what we actually have today. When I was actually in elementary school, paddling was a common theme, and there was a bunch of discipline in the school. When we were in the hallway, we were not allowed to talk. We had to walk in a single file line. Discipline was actually installed in school back in the 1980s when I was a kid. But now today, guys, it's very, very different. The teachers, they don't actually teach anymore. Also, they don't actually install discipline in schools. That's why you have a lot of school districts actually failing right now. You have violent students. Actually did a video on a kid in high school actually beat up his teacher. And YouTube is definitely inconsistent because the first video they actually approved because they demonetized it. Then the second video I made on it, they demonetized it completely. So if you guys would like to support us, just click that super thanks button. We appreciate all type of donations because we're definitely getting censored over here on this channel. But we do need to talk about these topics here because I do believe that children are the future. But I believe that paddling needs to be brought back into school. I believe that discipline needs to be brought back into schools. Because this story right here, guys, the teachers can't paddle students anymore. But what this teacher did, I don't agree with this whatsoever. This is pretty bad right here. And also, when I was actually reading this story here, the teacher did get fired. But look here, Texas mother outraged after teacher allegedly taped son to chair is beaten by peers. Now, there is no allegedly here because the teacher did admit that she did end up taping the child to a chair. That is wrong right there. You should not be doing that. You should not be doing that. Charlotte Johnson, that's the parent, said if a parent did the same, they'd be jailed and CPS would intervene. Yeah, you probably would end up having your kid taken away. But let's go ahead and read some of this, guys. A Texas mother and her son spoke out after he was allegedly taped to his chair by a teacher as a reprimand for purportedly being disruptive in a hallway. Charlotte Johnson and son, I'm assuming you pronounce this as Z, joined Lawrence Jones Cross Country on Saturday to recount the episode at a school in Fortney, just east of Dallas. The teacher, only identified as a female, reportedly taped down Z Johnson and exited the room, leaving the boy to be purportedly assaulted by peers. So the students, the kid is defenseless. I don't know how old this kid is. There's a picture right here. Probably no more than like 7 years old. Taped to his chair, and the students were just beating on him. Yeah. The teacher just, I guess, left the classroom and didn't do anything about this. Charlotte Johnson told host Lawrence Jones she was notified of the incident by an administrator and has since been seeking charges against the teacher while seeking only suspensions and similar non-criminal reprimands for the students who allegedly struck her son. Quote, the administrator had got word that Z's teacher had taped him to the desk and the class was left unattended, and some of the students assaulted him, like hitting him over his head with their fists and their hands. Oh my God. She said, quote, she said that the teacher informed her that he was being disruptive in the hallway. Jones noted the teacher reportedly confessed and that the crux of the matter now is why she did so. So the teacher did admit that she actually did tape this child down to his desk. That's wrong. You should not be doing that. Quote, she confessed that she taped him, and she also told the principal she thought it was a joke, Charlotte Johnson said. I want to know what Z did, but I want to know why would she do that? Why she didn't call me if he was doing something he wasn't supposed to do. She just said he wouldn't be still. That was her only answer to me. Now, I do believe that parents definitely need to have a relationship with the teachers. I remember when I was a kid, actually, you know what? I actually went to the elementary school right down the road from my home. And since my mother is only 21 years older than me, I actually had some of the same teachers that she had. And I remember when I was actually in middle school and I was acting up a little bit, my teacher said, "You know, I know your mother. I'm going to call her and let you know you're acting up." So I didn't act up. Actually, I wasn't a bad kid in school, but I was a kid. So, I was clowning around sometime, very, very few times. But my mother had a relationship with the teachers. They knew she would actually show up and be involved. And I was on the right track. But it seems like today, I don't know what kind of parent Charlotte Johnson is. I'm not accusing her of being a bad parent because I really just don't know. But I do believe that discipline needs to be brought back into the classroom. I mean, all the stuff that actually happened to students when I was in elementary school, no talking, single file line. We actually put our fingers over our lips. And if you act up, you went out to the hallway, you got paddled. I mean, the hallways in the school I went to, and it was a public school. That was a bunch of discipline in that school. It just was. It says here, Z Johnson recounted the situation in his own words. Quote, "My teacher grabbed my arm and she set me down. And she had another student hold my arm while she held my other arm. And she taped me. And when she left out of the classroom, all the other classmates started hitting me." Jones reported Fort Lee School law enforcement concluded their investigation in one week's time, and that Coppin County District Attorney Early Norville Wiley determined no charges would be brought against the teacher because Z was ultimately able to free himself from the bounds. He shouldn't have been tied up in the first place. Quote, "The district has remained tight-lipped since the incident, but now revealed they have parted ways with the accused teacher," Jones said. So the teacher has now been fired. Quote, "Fort Lee ISD sets high standards for our educators, both in classroom instruction and in fostering of a positive and supportive learning environment for all of our students. The teacher's conduct in this situation did not meet those standards, and the district has taken the necessary steps to address that failure and reinforce our expectations," Fort Lee Independent School District wrote. Charlotte Johnson later told Jones she is not satisfied with how Fort Lee ISD handled the incident, saying she wants charges pressed against the teacher and that charges being purportedly considered against the students who allegedly assaulted Zeke should not be brought. Quote, "If this had been me as a parent and I did that to my child, I had already been in jail. My son and his siblings would be in foster care. I'm not understanding where you need to investigate it, especially if she verbally admitted it. The school is talking about charges going to be brought against the students 10 and under. Me personally, their children, you're going to ruin their life," she said, adding she still has compassion because they're kids. I agree with that. I mean, these kids right here, they're watching the teacher tie up another one of their students. And at that young age, they don't really know right from wrong. What the teacher did was wrong. I don't believe that charges should be brought on the kids because they're kids. But I do believe, that their parents should be notified of this. I'm pretty sure they probably did. And you know what? Maybe they need some type of, in school learning experience or something like that. I'm not really sure. All right. While Z has been placed in a different class, the Johnsons told Jones they plan to change schools after spring break. Good. Jones reported he reached out to Norville Wiley's office for comment and did not hear back by press time. Man, that's disturbing, man. This is a disturbing story. That a teacher would actually tie up a kid to his chair and admits to doing it, leaves the classroom, and just lets the kids just beat up on him. I don't like that. I do not like that whatsoever. Do you guys actually think that charges should actually be brought on this teacher? This teacher clearly did not fulfill her duties as a teacher. I think the charges should be brought up on her. I really, really do. You don't do that to children. You don't leave them defenseless like that. And she didn't even come back and try to undo the tape. It said in this article that he was able to release himself. My goodness, man. My goodness. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.